Hello all, Dr. Fox back here with you. We get a pink theme starting. Yeah, we'll get into that too as well. Dragonflight, are there Hearthstone characters coming over from or kind of passing over or kind of in the background? We've kind of seen some of that, of where that lore crosses over. Why don't we talk about a little bit of that? Season 4 is live. How you holding up through season 4 so far? Are some of the raids and things getting a little harder? Why don't we get into this, Chantrine? Dr. Fox back here with the weekend update. Yeah, with my little kitty ears. Meow, meow, meow. They just came in thanks to my wonderful, wonderful, amazing hubby is slowly beginning because my big B-Day is coming up. Is setting me up with a nice little pink themed setup. He's even fat. They haven't come in yet. That'll be like a month before, but oh, I don't know if I'll be able to show those off. Maybe I can show them before I put them on the attach them. But he even got me like this little rubber, or I don't quite know what material it is, but it goes on the outside of your laptop, and it will even make the laptop pink. So that was kind of neat, and this fun little LED here lights up. If I can show you that on camera. Ooh, so pretty. Just kind of cycles through them. Okay, then it also has two more USBs right there. And you can see it. I don't know how well that's showing up on camera, but that does focus through, that does cycle through some different colors. I'd like to be able to know if there was a program that you can set, like make the color solid if you want. It it kind of rotates to, like, slowly rotates through different color. Anyone that's had this, let me know. No, Razer is not paying for this. That came out of my poor hard working hubby's paycheck right there. So we can thank him for that. This is wireless, so I am finally wireless after some tweaking of some options. I hope I'm coming through good and clear for you all. I know I was kind of struggling with that, like 11.99 Walmart low end microphone again, especially if I've had like really nice professional microphones and whatnot. But Ted, share with you what do you think of that? I'm kind of excited. Have you had some good luck with them? I know at first I was plugging it in, and it was kind of sounding scratchy, and I think it was just because of the connection. But as soon as I went Bluetooth, cleared right up, and I was like, "Whoa, what do you know?" And I let it charge for the night too, and sorry, I got little itchies as well too. So a little bit about this history. We know that some of these characters have kind of been popping up. We're going to see more of them in Dragonflight. That'll be another interesting faux pas or discussion. I know and there's a few other great streamers that really cover this history really in depth and that as well. Like characters like Bran, of course. We haven't seen Bran in quite a while. As well, Reno Jackson, Sir Finley, Marol Gargleton, or something like that. I know him. He speaks like 14 Murglish, and I know his little character pops up in the game. He's literally moves around, and he's got like the little safari hat on. Um, but I know when it comes to Dragonflight, a lot of the alpha things have constantly been sharing a lot with other folks right now as well, and they have revealed the name of the new Dragonflight uh, capital, if I can pronounce this right. Valdraken, I think. If that's how I heard that proper, they'll have things there from, yes, for those looking for it. Thank goodness the black market will finally be easy enough to get, because I know Horde, it was a little complicated. You had to come over to, and for even Alliance, when you're in BFA, you had to fly kind of over there, and Legion, you had to like go downstairs, and people would constantly kill you, and you couldn't even get to the character to bid, and they were just making it so awful. I hope this is going to be a lot less chaotic in that aspect. We'll see, of course, the portals to the capitals like Ogamar, Stormwind, Barbershop. Thank goodness Barbershop's going to be free after that. And I would suggest hold out till Dragonflight if you want to change your character's look. It's supposed to be free after that. So Auction House will be in there as well. Valdraken is the new capital for the new Dragonflight expansion. Have you noticed if the keys have been get harder? I just know that if you're trying to get through some of those raids right now, try to get it may be a good way to kind of level up those alts. There are 285 pieces that are dropping right now, at least for us anyway. And the keys, are you finding those a bit harder, or maybe you're finding some of the rates to be a little easier, like Castle Nathria? I think it depends on who you go in there with, how well people know the mechanics, and dot dot dot. So if that kind of gives you an idea there, I think that's kind of where we can leave that as well. For those wondering how we get into that capital, well, the way that we come over to Dragonflight is the horde's going to be recruited by the Reliquar. I don't know if I'm even pronouncing that right. My apologies. Someone hyphenated out in the comments. I know there's been a few folks that are really nice, like when they know I'm struggling with it. But those that know my channel know that I tend to botch a lot of these names, no matter how good I try to use the phonetic English language. And but share with me with that, and then we know that the Alliance, the Explorers League, is pulling us over. And that was kind of why we were looking at that little bit of discussion. And I know that there's a few other streamers that do talk about some of the history and the crossover and where that crosses for those that are kind of fascinated with that storyline from Hearthstone. Of course, a lot of that is more. Some could say it's just more like funning. It's not really complete accuracy or how that crosses over, but it's always a fascinating little take and discussion on that, and kind of where people want to go and where those people would like to look at that kind of aspect, if you will. But I don't know. I thought that was kind of a neat little conversation to look at, since the news was just a little bit tweaking a little less this week. And if you see this black camera over there with like a little piece of white rod, well, Miss Prissy was hanging out there, and for some wacky reason, no, she just finally decided to get up, and it's too bad. She was there all morning, and I try to wait to get my weekend update out. We get through our morning routine on Saturday, and then I try to take my notes and I go over information that I gather. And sometimes she'll sleep in this one cornered spot in the closet, and a lot of people are like, "Oh no, we don't want to show off what's in our closet." It's fine. It's clothes, in my opinion. It's fine. I mean, but anyway, I was going to put a light in there, but she ended up getting up just as we were getting ready to do my weekend update, and she's kind of wandering the house with my hubby. So my apologies for her not making it on this weekend. And I think with that segue, let's get into our Transformers reveal from our Transformer Museum this week. And I thought we'd talk a little bit about the Seekers. And sadly, this poor Seeker of mine is missing a lot of parts. And my hubby, at some point, God bless his soul, his hard work, and he's already got a long list of things that he always tries to do, but he's offered to try to paint, because I had some extra Starscream parts left over, and I wanted to feature Thundercracker today. So out of one of the Seekers, I know, of course, if we talk Seekers, we got to talk Starscream, but I'm saving him for another week, because I have a very, very special Starscream that I want to show another time when we're on the off week of the Decepticons, because I've been trying to work on going one Transformer week. So I thought we'd feature Thundercracker this week as well. And from G1, it was like this. The G2s, like Thrust, would have their heads up like that. But this is Thundercracker with some Starscream parts, sadly. So I thought I would just feature a Thundercracker this week. And if we're going to talk Thundercracker, we might as well talk Skywarp. So we're also missing, sadly, some of his black hands. He had little hands that slide on that are black ones. And sadly, I was only able to get most of his chassis. So you can see here that, yes, I have Skywarp. He's the proper color, black and purple. But these were extra Starscream parts, and I don't even have the long ones there. And I know they've made a lot better ones since then. I just thought we'd feature some of the G1 Seekers, a couple of them anyway, before I get into. And of course, those that know and always love asking me, kind of digging deep into my archives, some of the Transformer decoys. There are a couple of Transformer rubber purple decoys, and you can see here that they are a couple. These are the two jets that seekers that have two different poses. And originally, when I had Skywarp, I mean, see, I'm on the conversation of Thundercracker and Skywarp. Uh, I Starscream. I always the only seeker I ever had from G1 originally was Starscream, and it wasn't until more recently I was able to find a couple of used Thundercracker, and Skywarp to help fill in those parts. And again, they were only partial pieces. So I used to pretend these other two decoys were our Decepticons, Skywarp and Thundercracker. So that's how we used to play when we got the little decoys in the casings for those in G1, just to give you a little more insight on what it was like back then. And yeah, see, even Chicas enjoy classic Transformers as well. We don't always have to have the cliched of Barbie growing up and whatnot. Of course, I wasn't really allowed to, but that's a story for a different day. And that's why I was all team Transformers, and my brother loves Transformers too, but and he's got so many amazing signatures. I mean, I wish I could just take a picture sometime or just a short video of like all the signatures, and I'd love for him to share the stories behind all those signatures and just kind of show you. And he's gotten some amazing ones across the board. But I guess some could say Team Transformers or Team Joe, and I would have to say Transformers. But don't get me wrong, I love my Lady J too, which I should probably feature that. My brother got me Lady J. I think it was my last uh, birthday or holiday. Thought I got it last birthday as a birthday gift. Don't quote me on that. But I thought I would feature the Seekers this week. And then with that, why don't we pop on over and shoot in to I love my calendar kittens. Sweet little calendar kittens. Yes, yes, my calendar kittens. Yes, yes, there we go. There we go. There we go. Of course, those that were wondering, voiced by one of these G1 actors was good old John I can never pronounce his name. Stefferson? There we go. The good old late great John Stefferson. Sadly, he died back in 2015. God bless his soul, or whatever deity that you believe in. But with that, I was trying to pull up where'd it go? There it is. Okay, I was like trying to. You can see that I've been. We were out running Strat a little while, a few times as well. Of course, we had season 4 that reset. Of course, anything that you're running, raids, dungeons, whatnot, will reset. Except Strat. Tends to be one of those few goodies that you can just keep resetting, and you don't get blocked out of, which is really, really good. You can spend hours running chat, which is a nice little feature, and I'm glad that they allowed that because, gosh, that that thing is so hard to drop. And look, I know there's a lot of other dungeons out there that they're hard to drop as well. And don't forget, we know that coming up, free T-shirt day next week as well. We'll talk about that this weekend. But right now, we have Dark Moon Fair going on this week. Torghast Course of Dead Souls is beginning this week. The next Fated Raids as well. Castle Nather, that's ending. The next Fated Raids, Sanctum of Domination, that's beginning. We've got the Battlegrounds bonus event, that's ending. Shadowlands Dungeon event, that's beginning. PvP Brawl, the old Cooking Impossible, that's beginning. War Song Scramble, you PvPers out there, that's ending this week. And then, of course, any dungeons and raids, as I mentioned just moments ago, as those end. So, thank you for coming along today. And I really, really appreciate it. I hope you're holding up another week into August. And I know many of you are getting ready to go back to school, whether it be college, whether it be grade school, or whether it be just school of some sorts for some other reason. or just continuing education, and that's rocking and rolling. Some are going back as a lot of the sports are slowly beginning to pick back up again. Uh, I know some of the camps and whatnot have been going on throughout. We've got the fairs around the corner. We've got Labor Day coming up in a few weeks. Cowabunga collection, TMNT. Don't forget that. That's the end of this month as well. There, I think it's August 30th, and I'll double check that date as we get closer as well. I'm excited for that one on the Nintendo Switch as well. And there's supposed to be a special item coming, but I think the shipping got pushed back on it. I think it's the Odin. I know. I don't want to jump the gun too soon. That's a very beautiful machine, and I would love to get that featured at some point, or be able to even review, or maybe not review, but like just be able to kind of do an unboxing and kind of talk about it a little bit would be really, really exciting. With that, hold your weight through the week. Do your best. Stand up. Try to go out there. Remember to always try to go and fight. Now that's a uh, no evil malice or reference to anyone at all. It's we've been watching a lot of South Park, and that particular one always plugs through my brain whenever I'm working out and trying to do my best to hold through and just keep the mind sharp. And so, and I don't just mean like physical and shit. I'm talking about it's a way of allowing you to also be mentally sharp and mentally strong, and just kind of being able to allow yourself to get through another week of just holding yourself through your own, if you will. Hold through that once again. Hold yourself through those parts to the best of your ability. And once again, you know the routine. We will be able to hold yourself there and get through that time until I'm on again next time. And once again, yes, now we will see you later. See you later.